Hey yo, this is another episode of the Steven from the Old Time Podcast. Listen to my dad, he's awesome.
Welcome to a new episode of Steven from the All Time Podcast. I am your host, the Ayatollah of Hip Hop, the whole damn show, the Radar podcaster, and one half of the tag team champions of the world. Tonight is a special night because we got the Fatal 4-Way for the first time ever. A Fatal 4-Way in the fucking house with my co-hosts.
Hey yo, what's up? Is the man with the most titles in the podcast industry. Here I am. It's me, Milenko. How you doing, guys?
Hey, what's up? What's up? This is your other co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the Black Eric Bischoff, the other half of the podcast tag team champions of the world, okay? The world, trap all time. I'm here again, baby. Let's do it.
What's up, everyone? I'm not just the best, I'm the greatest there is, the greatest there was, and the greatest there ever fucking will be. Derek, Big Cheese in the house. Let's go.
I can tell with the voices. I can tell that everyone's excited.
I love it. Yo, I've been excited all week, bro. You don't know how badly I've been waiting for this episode since like last Monday. Since the Raw from last Monday before WrestleMania, like I've been like a little kid, bro. I don't know.
Like this whole weekend, the whole week leading up to WrestleMania, it's been a while that I've been this excited for an event on TV. It's been 10 years, maybe 12 years, maybe since Edge won the Royal Rumble for the first time. That's the last time I was really excited for an event. And this week was just like, oh, it's Monday. Oh, it's Tuesday. Oh, shit, it's Thursday. Hey, it's Friday. Saturday. You know, it's like you're waking up. It's like, hey, I was talking to my son. I was like, WrestleMania tonight. He's like, what time does it start? And then, you know, people started coming over to the house. You know, like it was like Christmas. Or like, you know, you haven't gone to see your family in a long time. It was weird, but at the same time, I was just like, I was excited. I was happy. It's something. We become kids again. At the age that we are, time. Exactly, we become kids again. We're invested. It's 2 days, huh? A 2-day event, and it's at the end of it, you're tired. I was tired. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was tired. The whole week was long. There was a lot going on. I've noticed that now with social media, there's so much more intake because of rumors, because of people posting things, just backstage gossip. The whole thing with CM Punk and Jack Perry, AEW thing that's going on after the interview. There was a Cody Rhodes interview. There was so much leading up to that. It was like, it was tiring, but it was fun. It was fun. And now we're here.
Oh, Paul Heyman getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Oh, so fucking amazing. How can we forget that? Did you guys see that?
Yep.
So amazing. So amazing. Well deserved. Stephanie McMahon looked great with the fucking ECW callback hat. Fucking amazing. Him shouting out the new talent. Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes. Oh, just beautiful. Like I shed a tear for that. I'm not even going for it. I think I did shed a tear for that. It was real beautiful, man. Like Paul Heyman, like what he done for the business and just who he managed and some of the names that he was saying that he brought into the business, like incredible, man. Just incredible.
He deserved it. He deserved it 110%. I'm happy WWE did that.
And being in Philly,
one of the best speeches. Yeah.
Being in Philly, the home of ECW.
ECW. It was just fitting.
Paul Heyman is just an overall genius when it comes to anything wrestling. And I'm not going to try and put a title on what he's a genius with because it's overall everything that has to do with wrestling. whether it's
Right.
character building,
Yes.
promotional aspect, just everything overall. He is a genius, and he has elevated superstars to the next level.
This right here.
Yeah.
This right here.
Oh,
Paul Heyman
yes.
has changed the game, not only for wrestling managers, but for wrestlers who come out and cut promos. Because for
Oh,
so
yes.
long, whenever he cut promos, he overshadowed everyone. Everyone was just 16 levels right under him in terms of cutting promos. The way he's changed the game just on the mic itself, if Paul Heyman wouldn't be there, who knows how the promos would go. But Paul Heyman, the guy's a legend. The guy's a legend. He
Yeah.
was competition for a while. So the fact that they inducted him in the Hall of Fame, it just goes to show that bygones are bygones. He's in the business. He's here to stay. And he's been canceled so much that it doesn't even matter what we say about him. He's going to stay. He's here to upset. He's here to disrupt, just like the company that he had in the past. And that's all that matters. Without Paul Heyman, we probably wouldn't have AEW doing the high flying and the daredevil shit and the breakneck stuff and the no sell.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have that if ECW wasn't around. They changed the game forever. And honestly, all we got to do is be grateful for it. So well deserved on his end.
Yeah.
And look at who he worked with: Stone Cold, The Undertaker, Rob Van Dam. I gotta say something real quick about Rob Van Dam. Paul Heyman coming out for the speech when he got inducted, stopping, going to see RVD, giving him a hug, going to see Tommy Dreamer, giving him a hug, going to see Bubba Ray Dudley, giving him a hug. That brought tears to my eyes. As a fan, and seeing them come up together, that brought tears to my eyes. That was something nice. That was really something nice. And even the kind words he said about CM Punk,
Yeah.
and the respect he has for CM Punk, that was nice to see also. He believes in people.
Him ungifting the box and throwing on the old ECW again. Oh, oh my God, amazing, bro. Such an amazing Hall of Fame speech, bro.
Yeah. It was nice. It was nice to see. I'm super happy for him, and I think he's gonna be in the business for another 20 years, 25 years. You know what I mean? And this is the first time we saw him kind of out of character, right? Paul Heyman is that guy that never really breaks character, whether he's on an interview.
He don't break kayfabe at all.
Paul Heyman, never. Never. He's Paul Heyman 24/7, 365 days a year. You know,
but I feel like he's also very appreciated in the locker room. I feel like I've never heard really negative stories about Paul Heyman coming from other wrestlers. I hear he treats everyone with respect. I hear he pushes people to the moon. Yes, he's been canceled for the outlandish things that he says, but he's an entertainer. You're going to get canceled when you're entertaining. You want to disrupt the industry. It's just going to happen. And I think he not to badly quote him, but when people like, you deserve it, he's like, you're damn fucking right, I do. I feel like he felt like it was a long time coming for him. I feel like it meant to him, even though he didn't show it, it meant to him a lot to be inducted in the Hall of Fame, because a lot of wrestlers that were inducted in the Hall of Fame wouldn't be there without him. So I feel like it mattered for a lot for him. So it was a nice thing to see.
Quick question before we move on. Do you think Roman was the right person to induct him?
No.
I mean,
but I know why they did it though. But
I mean, for the story, I think for the story and the WrestleMania thing, I think the best one would have been Tommy Dreamer.
Yes.
Or
RVD. Or RVD.
Yep.
Or you know what they should have done, which I was kind of surprised. They should have had 4 or 5 people and do a speech. Start off with 2 or 3 people from ECW, and then move on to like CM Punk. You could have put Stone Cold. You could have put Undertaker. Like, he gave Stone Cold a shot in ECW to speak his mind. It kind of built Stone Cold's character at that point. So you could have had a lot of people do it. I get why they went with Roman, Derek, to your point. But there could have been more to it. But anyways, whatever. We're not gonna be here be all negative. It is the way it is. I'm super happy he's inducted, and
Me
you know what?
too.
For another 25
Well
years
deserved.
of Paul Heyman. So
Well deserved.
let's break down WrestleMania 40, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, with the biggest main events of all time. We are gonna break it down. We're gonna start off with night one. We're not gonna go through all the matches because we'll probably be here till 3 days from now, and Malenko's
No, we
probably
won't because
gonna.
night one wasn't really that much of a night one. The best match was the first match, which was Rhea and Becky Lynch.
So that's
Remember,
that's your highlight match. So we're going with highlight
that's
matches to kick it off.
remember last episode I said what I said I wanted to be the first match, the Usos, right?
Mm-hmm.
I told you make that the first match because I did not want to see 1,000 super kicks, and that's exactly what I saw: 1,000 fucking super kicks and 1,000 spears. Unbelievable. That should have been first. Get it out the way with, and let me enjoy the rest of the show. Because after that first match, I didn't really look forward to anything. The 6 pack ladder match got me mad because I didn't like how they got redemption. I didn't like how they showcased Damian Priest and all of that. I don't know what they were doing with him, but they redeemed themselves. We'll get into that later. But that 6 pack ladder match, they didn't do nothing for me neither.
Shocking.
That's
Okay.
why I said 1.5. That's what I said. Remember when he said 3 matches? I said 1.5 maybe for me.
Okay. So what was your highlight, Trap?
The first match, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. That was definitely my highlight match of the night, especially for night one.
It was a phenomenal match.
Definitely,
It was an
it
amazing way
was
to start it off. Amazing way to start it off.
amazing. Those two in the ring, like they really meshed well together in the ring, and you could tell Becky Lynch was trying her hardest. But Rhea Ripley, man, every time I see her in a match, it's just like wow, like this is. It's like almost every match she has like potential match of the year candidate. Like you see, she won the Slammy with Charlotte Flair. That was a great match that she put on and won a title. Um, she, she just has great matches. She knows how to perform. She knows how to work the ring. I love her character build. Everything about Rhea Ripley screams champion and superstar. And like, I feel like she actually makes the other women too look better too when they work with. And that's a superstar right there. When you can make the other people look good too while you're performing, such a great match. So I felt like that should have been later in the card, but you know,
It's a good
they
way to
put it
kick it
first.
off. They put a
Yeah,
stamp on what to expect from WrestleMania. I get why they went with that match. They wanted to set it
I
off
get it
straight,
too.
and Rhea is probably the best way to kick
But
it off.
then
And
the rest of the show was just lackluster after that. So that's why I feel like I didn't look. They should have put the Usos first, like I said, man. Get the 1,000 super kicks. Get all that yeet. That's a good way to start off the show too. Get all of that yeet out the way with 1,000 super kicks, and then let's go on. Like, yeah, now we were looking forward to something else. Yeah,
before we get to your highlight match, what Derek, the Usos match, guaranteed nobody in this room right now thinks any good things about that match. I thought it was one of the worst wrestling matches I've seen ever. Okay, there was zero performance in that match whatsoever. It was just all hype with
ban the
just
super kick
let me look. Let me be
and the
honest with all of
spear.
you. Okay, those guys could do
ban it.
two moves. You said them: the super kick and the spear, because they're whatever they call it that they jump off the top rope. Is it the frog splash? Is it a
Uso
leap?
splash.
Uso
Yeah, the
splash
Uso splash.
is always done terribly. These two guys, I like Jay's character. I like Jimmy's character, but these
Yeah, I
two
like
guys
them. I want
can
to like them.
these guys cannot carry a match if their life depended on it. I find them
That's why
such
they need to be tag team. That's
terrible,
when they were better.
terrible in-ring performers as solo
Yep,
wrestlers. Terrible.
absolutely.
The only way Jimmy has kind of surpassed and has gone a couple of steps up the ladder is because of who he faces. That's the person who carries the match. Because if you see him in the ring against those people, it's them who are carrying. Whether it's Seth Rollins, he's facing Drew McIntyre. He's facing who's the other guy? The Osaki Takamijinuku that he fought. What was his name?
Oh,
Shinsuke Nakamura.
There we go.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay, they carry him. He needs to go back to NXT or something and learn stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's a terrible match. It was the worst brothers match I've ever seen. Okay.
Ever seen. It should have got out the way first. Like I said, it should have got out the way first.
Yeah.
Terrible. Because I already remember I said that in the last episode. They got the same skill set. I don't want to see that. Put that first. Yo, Malenko is cracking up.
Oh fuck, that killed me then. Takamura. Oh yeah, Shinsuke. Fuck. Even me, I know the
Put
guy.
some respect on his name. He was an NXT champion, you know.
Yeah,
I
that's the
feel
last
so
time.
bad for Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
Steven
I know, right?
mentions him every episode and screws up
It
his
says
name
his
every
name wrong
episode.
every time.
It's amazing.
The last time I watched and followed WWE, the Usos were together, and Shinsuke was starting. Like when he made his debut in WWE, that's the last time I was like kind of watching it. But he was good at the time. They were like a big deal of the strong
He was
style
NXT
coming to
champion.
WWE. So I remember that.
NXT is a big thing.
And Takamijinuku wasn't part of WrestleMania this year. Derek, your highlight.
So I'm gonna go against the grain here.
Oh boy.
Just because, listen, to echo what everyone said, I think, and I've said this on the other episode that we did, I think Rhea Ripley right now is the best champion that WWE has. I'll say it right now. I think she's the best on the mic. She's the best in the ring. She's a superstar through and through. And for me personally, had there not been a tag match involving The Rock as the main event, I think that should have been the main event to close out day one.
Thank you.
So I'll just say that right now. But I was expecting a great match from those two because of who was there. I will say that the match that surprised me the most is a match that I wasn't expecting to deliver, but it did deliver. It was Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Escobar and Mysterio.
Wow. No, I'll give you that. Because at first, when they had Dragon Lee in it, I was like, put that on SmackDown. But then when they changed it and put Andrade in it, I was like, all right, I kind of want to see this now. Yeah.
Well, me and Derek were texting during that match, if I'm not mistaken, no?
Yeah, we were texting, and I think for me, that was the match that probably showcased the most the future stars of the WWE, with the exception of Rey Mysterio. I think Andrade is a future world champion. I think if they plan Escobar correctly, I think Santos Escobar is United States or Intercontinental champion material. He has a face of that Mexican lucha style wrestler, but the heel kind of wrestler. He's the one that reminds me out of everyone the most of like the Guerreros in a way. He has that attitude. He's just a natural bad guy. And I think if they book him well, he's really good. And I have nothing negative to say about Dominic Mysterio other than he's limited in the ring. Dominic Mysterio is the most over heel in the business right now. And I think he's gotten a lot better in the ring. And if he keeps working with guys like Escobar and Andrade and his father, Dominic Mysterio in a few years is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the ring. It's just a matter of time. I think for me, that was the match that the highlight match for me for day one.
Okay.
I'm glad
you put that up because I forgot about that.
I'd like to add, please, Andrade is a monster.
I'm glad he came back home.
If you listen to my podcast, I've been saying it since Malenko put me onto AEW. Malenko, please.
Hold on.
Andrade.
AEW, he was in NXT. Don't do that.
It's fine.
I knew him from NXT.
Andrade has gotten better in the ring. He has. Did you see that fake big boot into a...
Into an elbow straight to the face?
Yo, that was insane. I was like, how the hell he pulled that off?
I just came out of an operation in which I am in constant pain and I flinched in my chair and I was hurting for 15 minutes. That's how absolutely insane. And I texted Steven when that move happened. I was like, that was the execution on that. You would think it's a finishing move for any other wrestler. That's how good it looked. That's how good it sounded. It was absolutely insane. The guy's a superstar. Superstar.
The way his moves flow and the way his moves look like he's actually really hurting the person. Like his moves
He was
like
doing
are
that since NXT.
but he's evolved
He got better though. Yeah.
because AEW gave him the opportunity to do what he wanted in the ring. So he was able to showcase all these moves. The guy's a high flyer. He's a powerhouse. Okay? He's technical. He's all around.
He's
Okay?
a good talker.
Yes, and his character, it's like if you mixed Ric Flair because of all the suits, the Rolex watches, and the way he dresses, with like an Eddie Guerrero.
So it's like
with just
Albert Del Rio, like Del
Yes.
Rio.
Yeah, Alberto
bigger
Del Rio. Yeah.
physique,
Alberto Del Rio.
bigger physique. So
Yeah.
like, dude, that guy, if WWE pushes him in the right direction,
Which they are.
hold on a second, wait. You
No,
got
because this is his second time back. Remember, he came up from NXT where he was the man in NXT. Again, during the you gotta understand that was still during the Vince McMahon era, and Triple H and Shawn Michaels had their hands on NXT. So all of the superstars that you see in WWE today were products of NXT. The Shield, the fucking Becky Lynch's, Rhea Ripley's, all of these people, Andrade, they started off NXT, but when Triple H and them sent them up to the main roster, Vince was still there, and Vince still had control. So, you know, he doesn't really want to give least control and prestige. He doesn't know. He's still stuck in his old ways, and he didn't want to listen. So Andrade went to AEW. Listen, even Cody Rhodes went away too. They went to AEW. They come back. It's a Triple H era. I feel like they're gonna get pushed right. I mean, look at he's already starting. They're starting them off in feuds with. He got him with Dominic. They got him with the hottest faction, the Judgment Day already. So his second time back, I feel like it's gonna be better.
Malenko. What's
So
your highlight?
I just watched 2 matches, so I can't really pick one. The 2 that I watched were really interesting. I can elaborate on that, like Sami Zayn versus Gunther. It was my first time seeing Gunther.
That's Steven's
wrestle.
favorite match. Why are you taking Steven's favorite match?
Yeah,
I want to hear him talk about it. You know he loves Sami Zayn.
I thought it was a pretty
he
solid
got a
match.
Sami Zayn t-shirt.
Yeah, that was my pretty. I thought it was a pretty solid match. It was my first time seeing Gunther have a wrestle.
Really?
Yeah, it was my first time seeing him wrestle. I liked it. It's just I mean, they made him look like an idiot. I think I was like, dude, like he was keeping looking at the wife of Sammy that was ringside, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I would have preferred another angle. I would have preferred like if he would have been so brutal that he didn't stop or he didn't notice something like that, or like he would get so brutal that he would get tired, and because of that he would have lost or something. Because now it just make him look like you weren't focused. I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it made him look
weird.
Yeah, it made it not weak. It made him look, because he would look strong, because he power bombed. He totally dominated. But I think the angle of the wife ringside is the problem of it. I think it didn't look like sadistic to me. It sounded like, dude, you don't look like a sadistic guy right now. You just look like an idiot.
You don't look like a reigning Intercontinental Champion at 66 days of reigning as the Intercontinental
Yeah, and he was keep
Absolutely.
putting on her face, and like, okay, I get it, but like, find another angle. I'm happy for Sami Zayn. Fuck, I love Sami Zayn. I'm happy to be here and defend him, because I love Sami Zayn. I always love his wrestling. From the last time I see him wrestle, he lost a lot of speed. I think he's so slow compared to what I would used to watch from him. I love the the brain buster to the turnbuckle. That's an old school Sami Zayn move, and I was surprised they did that on WWE. I don't know. I liked it. I'm happy he's champion. I don't know about the story. I can't tell about it. I didn't watch it. I didn't follow. Again, I don't follow it. So for me, it's just a match, and I like seeing him win. And yeah, and I saw
So
the
you
main
and
event. We're
Steven are
gonna
gonna
talk
see
about
him.
later.
Sorry?
You and Steven are gonna see him on Raw on Monday, right? Because they're
No,
gonna be in Montreal. So
well,
you and Steven are.
I sold my tickets. I'm not going.
What? You're
He's
not going to
probably
see your reigning? How you not going to
No,
go see your reigning
I've
Intercontinental Champion in your
I'm not.
hometown?
I
he's
You
refuse
probably
to
gotta
gonna
bring
go.
be
your.
main
You gotta
event.
bring your belt.
I
Are
refuse
you
to
gonna
go.
see? Are you gonna go on Malenko?
Yeah, I'll probably buy a ticket
Are
for him. He's
you gonna
gonna be
go?
probably main eventing too. He's probably
Yeah,
gonna
you're
main
gonna
event.
acknowledge
So
your tribal chief. Acknowledge your Intercontinental
so
Champion,
it's gonna
Steven. How
I'm
dare you?
selling my ticket. I refuse to go. I am not gonna go again to a third
I don't
wrestling
appreciate the Sami
show
Zayn disrespect.
where I have to watch and hear Sami
Sami
Zayn
Zayn versus Chad Gable.
for
That's who's
3
fighting next
hours.
week. It's Sami Zayn and Chad Gable.
It's not for me.
I know
It's
you
not for
want
me.
to see that. I
It's
know
not
and
you
for
want
me.
to see that match.
what was your highlight, Steven?
Me?
Goosebumps.
Yeah,
Can I really be honest?
Yeah, be honest. We
I
being honest in
loved
2024.
I loved the ladder match.
Oh, really?
I enjoyed that shit. I was scared going into that match because there was too much going on. What was there? Six? Was there six
hmm
tag teams? That's
hmm
that's a lot going
that's a
into.
lot.
How do you synchronize that? Thinking about synchronizing. How do you synchronize that? It's tough.
It's easy to be a clusterfuck. That's
But they did
it could be a cluster.
they did a really good job. Uh, I'm happy with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller winning. I had a feeling. I called it that they were gonna win, and
Of course, I think we all did.
I'm happy that K Quick and The Miz
Our
won.
truth.
Okay, he started as a
You said
K
K Quick.
Quick.
Our truth.
I'm always gonna call him K Quick because when he came
No,
into
he's our
wrestling,
truth.
he was. You know, he's 52 years old.
I know that, and every time I say that, I'd be like, "Yo, this guy."
Our truth was the highlight of the whole match.
Of
Like
course,
he's
was.
comedic genius in the ring. He brings so
timing
much
is
more
perfect.
substance. Everybody's serious all the time, and you got just our truth there, not knowing what's going on. I love that character angle.
Just the fact that he had to get tagged in, that he wanted Miz to tag him in so that he could go into the ring was just, it was a gem. It was beautiful.
But what I loved the most was the bumps that they took. Like JD McDonough.
Mm.
You know that if he would have missed by maybe an inch, he would have broke his leg. The way
Of course.
he is so lucky that he's 3'2", because just a bit taller and he broke his legs. His legs would have hit the barricade and they would have smashed. The DDT,
Oh, whew.
the way it landed
That
so
was sick.
perfectly.
That was sick.
Okay, I like those guys. What are they called? I can't remember what they're
Total
called.
Catch Wrestling, the Pete Dunne and Tyler Break.
Yes, I
Yes.
really like them.
The new Czech Republic.
Yes,
That's it.
I really like those guys. I think they could do really good things for the tag team division. They're very mobile in the ring. They could do a lot of stuff. I really like those guys. And Pete Dunne, Dune, whatever you want to call it, he's a mean
Pete Dunne.
motherfucker. I love the when he cracks with the fingers.
Yeah.
Good. Look, it was really enjoyable. It could have been a clusterfuck, but it was really, really enjoyable.
And the reason, to your point, why it wasn't a clusterfuck is that all of the guys that were in that match are known for being some of the best workers in the business. A lot of these guys have a lot of experience on the independents. They have a lot of experience in terms of putting guys over. Had you put any like big superstar in that match that's more used to working individually, it wouldn't have worked. But because all of these guys have been doing it for as long as they have, and they've really like, they rode the road in terms of like wrestling the independents, it's the only reason why it would have worked. Anything else, they wouldn't have managed.
We're moving on. Main
Main event?
event.
Let's go.
Main event.
The main event, night one, the Rock and Sock connection. Roman Reigns
The Rock and
versus
Sock. But,
Seth Rollins.
Tribal chief. There's a lot of disrespect today. You disrespected Sami Zayn. Now you disrespecting the tribal chief. What's going on with you today? You all right? Acknowledge your tribal chief.
I love Roman Reigns. We'll get to
over 1,000 days.
1,300.
World champion.
1,300 and something.
Years. Okay. He made wrestling cool again. 4 years.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
One of the greatest heels of all time. So The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes. And the winner, and if The Rock and Roman Reigns won, it would have been bloodline rules. And if Cody and Seth freaking Rollins would have won, it would have been no bloodline at ringside. Or no interference, whatever you want to call it. Let's be honest, boys. I really enjoyed this match. I enjoyed this main event more than the main event on night 2 that we will talk about when we get to night 2. I thought this tag team match was really well put together. It showcased all 4 of them. There was a perfect balance. It had me on the edge of my seat the whole time, except for The Rock being very slow motion. Roman Reigns carried that match for The Rock, for that side.
Of course, yeah.
He really carried that match.
But for us, watching The Rock is like the older people watching Ric Flair.
Yeah?
That's what I'm saying. That's what it's like for us now. We're those people now. The Rock was the guy when we were elementary, junior high, high school. It's like Ric Flair. Too old in the ring and
I love that they The Rock kind of had to fight the younger guys and have matches. Well, have a match like that, like whether it was in the crowd, the tables. He had to keep up with those guys. Those guys really know how to put on a match. Think of it. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes really know how to put on a match and carry a match, along with Roman Reigns. But being on the opposite end, having to go up with those guys, they made them look good. They made The Rock look good. You could tell that these dudes were trained super well and have experienced a lot in their careers and have had a lot of people by their side to guide them, because these dudes could carry matches. I'm sure you could put Seth freaking Rollins in the ring right now with the way Ric Flair looks and walks right now, and they'll have a 5-star match, because these guys know what they're doing.
Not right now.
For sure.
He's way too old.
These guys, that's a memorable match. Night 1, tag team match, to me, is a memorable match. Absolutely. And the way it ended with Roman beating on Cody, and then The Rock coming in, rock bottom, people's elbow, and pinning Cody for it to be bloodline rules to the next night, to me was icing on top of the cake. No, Malenko, you're shaking your head. You're agreeing with me.
I agree. I liked it. I don't think it was the strongest match of the both nights, but we'll talk about it later. But honestly, to add what you said, the only thing maybe for me was it was predictable. Like I kind of, if you were told me the prediction, I would have told you right away The Rock is gonna pin Cody. That's my first thing that would have come in through mind, especially knowing there's a second night. But other than that, man, the match was pretty good. I love the Rock, man, gave me chills. And for me, that's not a WWE listener. The whole rollout to WrestleMania, The Rock did fantastic job. It got guys like me watching Raw and watching the main events till WrestleMania. So if they accomplish the job accomplished. I mean, the clip you sent me with the promo when The Rock beat on Cody, in the rain with the blood and how he reacted to that. That gave me chills. I was like, okay, the Rock is putting it on right now. He's really taking, and he looked fantastic. He looked fantastic. I think he put the work in.
Those
Um,
pants. What
the
were those
the match,
pants?
the pacing of the match. I think the pacing of the match was really good. Good pacing. The guys were experienced, man. We talk about experience here, so it showed. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Derek,
The entrance were long though. 27-minute entrance. Jeez.
yeah, I was tired, but it was outstanding entrances.
Yeah.
Outstanding entrances.
Yeah.
Derek, what do you want to add to that?
Sadly, that I disagree.
Oh.
I think for me, and once again, it's not a dig. It's just the way it made me feel personally. I felt like the setup to the match was bigger and better than the match itself. So you know how it is. The expectation, the final result never meets the expectation that you have because you make the expectation so much bigger. The pacing of the match, I knew was going to be an issue, and it didn't really bother me that much. Like really, like I think, and to Steven's point, I think Roman Reigns was by far the best superstar out of the four in that match.
For sure. Yeah.
Which leads me to my next point. I feel like one of those teams, yes, on paper was the bigger team, but also looked better. I think Roman Reigns showed up looking like $1 million. The Rock looks fantastic for his age. And I kind of felt underwhelmed by Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins in terms of their physical, their presence in the ring. I do know that Seth Rollins is coming off a knee injury. I'm not going to hold that against him. He probably hasn't had a lot of time to train and actually like get into shape. But for me, it's just, I don't know. I guess I'm used to seeing Rollins like CrossFit Rollins, like the like jacked and shredded, and I don't feel like he delivered so much on that.
He's still injured.
Which is, we'll talk about that in night 2. But yeah, I just feel like the match could have been better. Sadly for me, I would have wanted to see the side of The Rock. The Rock went so heel for the setup that I feel like he wasn't heel enough during the match. Like he was beating on Rhodes, he was making him bleed, he was whipping him with the belt. All we got was one belt whip, no blood. You know, like you can't put a beating like that on that guy, and then when push comes to shove, that you're not doing anything to him. So I wasn't disappointed. I was just underwhelmed by the match personally.
Trap?
I actually feel the same way. That's why I said 1.5 matches when we spoke in the chat. Everything, as opposed, like Derek just said, everything leading up to it was so spectacular, but the match just didn't deliver. There was no blood, there was no whippings. So you did all that on a Monday Night Raw. I mean, she was there in the crowd at the WrestleMania too. You should have did that at WrestleMania. I don't know. The match was good for what it was, but like I said, it was night 1 for me, and that's the way to end it was kind of underwhelming for me as well.
Okay.
But it did show me that Roman Reigns, man, he is really special, bro. He was carrying that match so much. Like, he was carrying The Rock so much. Did you see when The Rock fucking tried to punch Cody midsection and then he fucking stumbled back into the turn? I'm like, oh, I'm like, my idols is old out here, man. I'm like, damn. I got John Cena with the ball spot. I got The Rock falling over. I'm like, my idols is old, bro. It sucks seeing them like that, bro.
I can't wait to talk about Roman in night 2. So we're good with night 1.
We're good with night 1.
Let's move on. Okay.
It wasn't
the best night. Okay. Night 2. Okay. I think we're all gonna be on the same page. Maybe everybody except Trap, because I know
why.
And we're gonna get there, Trap. Don't worry, but I know why you're excited. I know why you're excited. But night 2.
Yep.
Night 2 was a fantastic evening. Fantastic.
Every match.
Evening.
I loved every match.
Okay. Yeah, every match was
All
really
six
really
matches.
good, really good. Uh, I love the opener with Stephanie McMahon coming out. Really, really like that flag was planted for the Paul
Yeah,
Levesque Triple H era coming up. That was nice
yeah.
that they did that. I like
Been
that they
letting
did
you
that
know that.
because he's doing a really good job, and you can tell throughout the evening and the lead up to WrestleMania was a lot of him involved. So it was nice to see that. Highlights of that night. We're not gonna go through all the matches. We know the matches were, know what the outcomes are. I'm gonna go right ahead and say what the highlight of the matches, the night was the first match.
Mm,
Seth
I was gonna
freaking
say that.
Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Champion. Okay, can I have a raise of hands? Who agrees with me that that's the match of the evening?
One of them.
One of them. Okay, what a way to kick it off.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say we're gonna have a conversation about it, Derek. Now, Seth Rollins and his entrance was outstanding.
It was giving me Lady Gaga,
Doesn't matter. It was amazing.
but I loved it though. I loved it.
It
I
was
loved it.
amazing with
That looks like something Damian Priest would wear if he turned babyface. I love it.
right,
I love
right.
it.
The match was great. I found that
Hmm.
Drew really took over the match. It really put him to a top tier as a performer, right?
Yeah.
Like it made him look like, wow, this guy is gonna win. This guy's gonna be the champion, and he's gonna have a long run as a champion. Okay, I think Seth Rollins is injured again. To be honest,
Of course,
he
you
did
could
take a lot
tell.
of bumps in the match. He still did his part in the match, but I found that there was something to tell us. Seth is injured. He's going away for a while.
I
No?
think so too. At the
He
main
should.
event too, he looked something injured in his leg or something. He
Okay.
I think he's gonna be out for a long time.
So so Drew ends up winning, right? How many
CM Punk on the commentary was gold as well. By the way,
I
loved
was
CM
taken
Punk on the
away
commentary.
I was taken away so much by the match that I didn't even remember that he was there till the end.
See,
No? Derek, elaborate on the
yeah,
match. Elaborate on the on Drew before we
Okay,
get into
so
the end.
just on this match, and then we'll talk about the overall night. Um, I was so happy for Drew McIntyre, and I've never been shy that Drew McIntyre is my favorite superstar, whether he's
mm,
face, whether he's heel. I
Great
I
heel,
think
by the
this
way.
I think this guy is I think he's gold. I think he's gold. I
yeah.
think he's money. I
Heel
think
Drew McIntyre.
no matter what you do with him, he's gonna look good. And listen, for a guy who's a three-time champion, um, went away from the company, came back, carried the company on his back, how absolutely selflessly he's willing to lose and he's willing to look bad so that other people look good. I don't remember a time where I've seen a guy with that much potential and that much superstar power look bad that much because that's who he is. That's the ultimate professional right there. The guy could just be, listen, my contract was coming up. He signed a new contract. I want to be champion. There's nothing else I want to do. But no, they know what's required of him and he's willing to do that. For me, that's the ultimate professional because he's got the look. He's good on the mic. He's a phenomenal worker. Um, and yeah, I think that match looked amazing. To everyone's point, I think Rollins was injured in
Yeah.
that match. At the end, Rollins was clearly emotional at the end. So was McIntyre. They had a little moment at the end of the match of like, yeah, it's good. And I think we won't address Raw, but McIntyre addressed it on Raw to give the flowers to Rollins for leaving on a shield, like a warrior leaves on a shield whenever they're killed in combat. That's like a Scottish thing. So the fact that he mentioned it, I think, does mean that Rollins sadly got hurt during that match. But then the finish.
How many? Wait, hold on. I want to ask you a question, Derek. How many Claiborne kicks did he get? Did he give 4?
Listen, we should have known from
So many.
a lot, just from the beginning, right? Ding, 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 Claymore, and you're like, oh
Yep.
shit, it's gonna be one of those. And you mentioned about Seth Rollins' entrance. I think McIntyre's entrance was fire too. I think it was really good too. I think he really knows how to put on a show. He became a 3-time champion, not for very long, but it is what it is. And I think it's a matter of time. We start the counter now. It's a matter of time before he's a champion again in this company. And if he's not a champion again in WWE, he's going to be a champion no matter where he goes.
Yeah.
So he wins. Yay, goes and sees his girlfriend, wife, whatever.
The best part.
He sees CM Punk at the announce table. Well, he knows he's there, but he sees him. He stares at him for about 5 seconds, walks over to the announce table, starts, I don't know, poking the bear.
Talking shit.
Taunting him. Yeah, taunting him.
Talking shit. Climbs the table, gives him the suck it. Just starts busting balls. Like, the whole time I'm like, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I was just
But I knew something because I'm like, it's too long out there. So I knew something was going to happen. I'm like, he's staying too long out there. I'm like, and they're not going away from it. I'm like,
it was like 5 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a 5-minute thing before CM Punk, Drew turns around and CM Punk grabs him by the leg.
Mm-hmm.
He falls onto the table. CM Punk just takes off his arm brace, hits him across the head with it, takes off his jacket, starts stomping on him. You get like maybe 1 second, 2 seconds, and then all of a sudden, Damian Priest's music comes on.
I was in my house screaming, dude. I was like, oh shit!
And you just see CM Punk's head go like this. And Damian just runs down, hits him with the briefcase, says, I want to cash this in now, throws him in the ring. Is it the choke slam?
South of Heaven choke slam.
The South of Heaven.
Yeah. I love that you guys know all the names. Boom. Pins him. 1, 2, 3, wins. He's the new champion. The camera goes directly to CM Punk, and CM Punk is just standing on top of the announce table, smiling.
That was great. They did it great.
How Martin Scorsese says, this is cinema, baby.
5 minutes
cinema, man.
and 46 seconds about Drew was the champion. I know, Derek. I know it's heartbreaking.
He saved you because he actually won, so you don't have to review
Right.
AEW. So you got saved. I thought he was about to lose, so he saved you. I'm not gonna count it as a loss.
But yet again, and I think it shows. Listen, they told McIntyre. They told him that's what it was going to happen, and the guy could have been like, "Fuck this! Like, I'd rather lose the match to Rollins. I'd rather." But the fact that he knows what he's worth, and the company knows what he's worth, and like, listen, we need you to do this. You could be main event, but we need you in the mid card for a while to boost up all those other guys coming up, and we'll put you back up on the main card where you belong. I think that's what it was. I think a McIntyre CM Punk feud is interesting, though.
You can't wrestle right now, right?
For the sake of this, fuck CM Punk.
Yeah, you can't.
But I think it's going to be interesting. I think there's no love lost between them. I think it sets it up for the future.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, I just disagree on Priest. I think McIntyre should have at least kicked out once and then be hit again.
Okay,
that's my thing.
Do you think they're gonna do a Damian Priest versus McIntyre feud with CM Punk involved in there, or
not right now? Because McIntyre lost on Raw yesterday, so he's not the number one contender.
Oh, he lost already. Jesus.
With an interference from CM Punk. Anyway, we're not going to address Raw because it was trash. But overall, I think they're setting up McIntyre Punk for the foreseeable future in terms of a feud to push over Punk for sure. And then I don't know what they're going to go in McIntyre, but it'll be interesting. Listen, I'm going to trust Triple H. Triple H has made good decisions so far. I'm going to trust him in terms that he knows what's
Yeah.
best for McIntyre. And McIntyre wouldn't have re-signed a new contract unless like Triple H laid out, listen, this is what's going to happen. Are you okay with it? Yes, sign. If not, whatever. So it's a new era. I'll trust that era to go on.
Can you imagine them telling Shawn Michaels, "Hey, Bret Hart's gonna cash in the Money in the Bank on you"?
Those old guys
you
would never
imagine that?
accept that. Any of those
They would have
old
been
guys
like,
would
hell
never.
no.
Bret
Shawn
Hart.
Michaels would have been like, Bret Hart would have been like, oh, imagine the other way around. Bret Hart would be like, yo, you got to do this to Shawn Michaels,
Yeah.
cash in the Money in the Bank.
But that goes to show how much healthier the locker room is now.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Hulk Hogan would not
Absolutely.
even do that for Macho Man.
And keep
For
in mind,
No.
he would have
Triple
been
H.
like, no.
Triple H is the guy calling the shots. He's the leader. He's seen both. He knows how
Yeah.
toxic it was in the past. He's stuck with
Right.
Shawn Michaels when Shawn Michaels was the biggest dickhead in the business. And he's stuck by him. No offense to Shawn Michaels, but he admitted this
Right.
to himself whenever he was a younger kid. He was a douchebag.
And Triple H too was a douchebag
Yeah,
back then.
and
so,
now,
yeah.
but now
I love
Triple
him.
H knows that in
Yeah.
order to create a healthy business and a business that succeeds, you need to have a healthy locker room. And listen, we're not kidding ourselves. McIntyre, he's carrying that locker room. He's a leader in that locker room, whether people like it or not. And if you Rollins, McIntyre, Triple H, all those guys, I think they're doing a fantastic job. So it's a new era, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
Trap, you're up next. I saved you about 35 minutes of just talking for your highlight match.
Why?
So I'm pulling out the red
I have-
carpet because I know what this is.
Listen.
Let's go.
Okay.
Go
Traps.
ahead.
You,
Trap's highlight of
That
probably
was-
WrestleMania.
it was Io Sky versus Bailey. Again, Io Sky is such an underrated champion. I swear to God, Io Sky is such an underrated champion. Phenomenal work. I swear to God, she puts on a show every time in the ring. Like I feel like she could work with anybody. Also, shout out to Bailey too. I was rooting for Bailey also because Bailey's a phenomenal worker. She's not afraid to put anybody over as well. I like the feud leading up to it, but it was just such an amazing match. Like they put on a good show. I'm glad it was before the main event because it could have been a main event match. Like it was really good. Io Sky is amazing in the ring. You can't say that enough. She just has everything. She has the aura, the fucking heel character. Everything about her says superstar in the WWE. So I love that, even though she lost.
I'm surprised
And
she
then my
lost.
other-
I'm very
no, I
surprised
wasn't
she
surprised.
lost.
I knew she was gonna lose. I knew she was gonna lose because they want to get the heel. They want to get babyface Bailey the champion because she was.
Okay.
So overall, good match. But also one of my other matches of the night was also the AJ Styles and LA Knight match. That match right
Ooh.
there, yo, phenomenal fucking match. Those two, how you say it in wrestling terms, they know how to dance. Like they dance very well together. LA Knight shows some new moves. He shows he's improved in the ring as a wrestler.
It's
He already
true. Huh?
has the crowd. He's already over. He's gotten better in the ring, which is better for him. So maybe they'll start showing him more and pushing him more, which is phenomenal. We already know what AJ Styles is. We've seen him do this 100 times. So you can tell he's, a little bit older, so he got a little bit slower, but still able
He's
to keep up with
good.
LA Knight. So good, very well. I thought that match was so underrated because I feel like people were kind of downplaying it, but I feel like that was one of the better matches, and that's what I was looking forward to actually. So I really thought that was a good match. Shout out to them because they put on a show. Like if I wanted to show somebody wrestling who didn't see wrestling, I would show them that match. Like here, watch this.
Good point.
Introduce them to wrestling. You got it. I would show them that match right there. Phenomenal match. That's how you work a match.
Yep.
And then those are my highlight matches right there.
I'm
would-
happy.
I would agree for the highlight. My favorite match was Bailey versus Io Sky. First time watching Io Sky wrestle. But the crowd
Amazing,
on
right?
second night was way better. So the crowd
'cause
on
it wasn't
second
that
night,
cold.
the first night I thought they were really dead. I mean,
Oof.
Mika,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, maybe it's because I watched too much AEW. maybe that's I feel, but no, second night that was a good
It was
crowd.
also cold for American
It was
standards.
cold.
Exactly, it was
In
cold.
Philly, it
So
was cold.
I understand that. So, but Bailey and I think the story they told, the pacing of the match, and Bailey hasn't lost nothing. She's a really good wrestler. Yeah, definitely.
I'm glad you acknowledged Io Sky. Thank you for that.
Oh, really
Because
good,
Steven
really good.
always gets on me for acknowledging Io Sky.
I acknowledge
I
Io
love the
Sky.
passion. That's it. I love the passion that you have.
You like
for
you
women's
like all the
wrestling.
pop-ups I put with Io Sky on last
Yeah, I
episode
love
with
that.
the
Yeah, when he did
hearts.
that, I wanted to say that. I'm like, yo, I love that he did that. You got to do that again because I love Io Sky.
Yeah, I marked it already. It's gonna pop up.
Oh, see?
Main
Love
event of
Io
the
Sky.
night. Are you guys ready?
Main
Oh,
event
yeah.
of the evening: the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus the Tribal Chief Roman
Part 2.
Reigns. Part 2. Look, I'm gonna go out and say it.
You knew
I'm
what was
very
going to
disappointed.
happen. I said, remember on the other episodes, we said it.
Yeah.
I said, they're going to win Bloodline Rules, the tag team, and then Cody's going to win Sunday. And you, Steven, was like, no. I'm like, that's what's going to happen. I said, all the wrestlers going to come out. They're going to put Cody on his shoulder. I'm going to cry. And that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly
I
what happened.
called it.
Mhm.
And that ain't not happened.
It
That's
happened.
exactly
Traps a real Cody crybaby right there.
I just
It was-
I just don't think this is the way Cody should have won. Look,
Oh,
Roman
Well-
shouldn't have lost the belt.
Mm.
He should have beat
What?
Hogan's record.
oh, you know they weren't going to let that. I wanted them to do that too, but you know they weren't going to let that. Hogan was not going to, not no brother. They were not going to let them do that.
Not for that,
Hogan had
brother.
a fit.
Cody shouldn't have won this way. Cody at the end of the match looked weak, like he needed help from people to beat Roman Reigns. Okay,
I get that.
I'm gonna say
I
it this
get
way.
that.
I'm gonna say it this way. Roman Reigns wins because he gets help from the bloodline, but he's a
Right.
heel, and that's part of being a heel. Okay, Cody Rhodes needed to finish the story. The whole thing was finish the story. I'm gonna finish the story. I need to finish the story. I need to face
Right.
Roman Reigns. I want to finish the story, etc. I want to do it for my dad, my mom, everybody. Okay, right or wrong? Right.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Why couldn't Cody Rhodes do it himself? Why couldn't Cody Rhodes? He looked like a warrior going into the match. He came out.
See,
The outstanding entrance with the skull.
yeah.
Okay, with his
Uh-huh.
wife. He did that in AEW with his wife coming out. Remember when they were all dressed
Yeah.
like Star Trek characters in AEW,
Yeah.
Malenko?
Mhm. Yeah.
Like he did that. That was AEW. When I saw his wife, I was like, he's winning. It's over. Just don't even do the match. Just give him the belt at that point. I knew right away because that's his character started in AEW. That character of Cody Rhodes was an AEW start, right,
Of
Malenko?
course.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I agree.
Okay. But he came out, and the first half of the match was great. I loved it. The back and forth. It was really like this is a wrestling match. Like these guys are showcasing what they could do best in the business and what they're here for. Maliko, you were sitting right next to me during the match.
Yeah.
Right? It was a really good match. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy comes out, which is fine because we knew Jimmy was going to come out. And then Jay comes out. But the way Jay comes out, his music plays. Do I really need Jay's music to play? Am I really going to get shocked that Jay is
That
coming
was the
out?
best. That was the best thing Jay and Jimmy did all WrestleMania weekend. That fight on the stage and the spear off the stage, better than their entire match.
Yeah,
okay?
that was a crazy
That
moment.
whole sequence was better than their entire match. The fucking spear off the stage into the table.
I had no idea that there was tables there, by the way. I thought they really did it onto the concrete.
No, and I want to do a quick shout out to your brother, Steven, because he called it. He called everything on the go. He was like, okay, this guy's going to come out. This guy's going to come out. He had everything right. So shout out to him.
Even the surprises he had, right?
Dude, he
no
said it
way
all.
He knew the. No way he said the.
He said it all.
Yeah,
Steven.
he said it.
What?
He said it.
Yeah.
He said it. This guy's going to come out. This guy's going to come out.
In
This
order.
guy is going to come out. In order.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So getting back to it, I don't need Jay's music to play. I know who the fuck Jay is. Number one.
Right.
Okay. Why does he have to come from the ramp? Why can't he come from the crowd like his brother did? Like,
I don't
okay,
know. The cinema. The
Jay helping,
cinema.
I get it. It's fine. The Rock comes out. No, was it Solo? No, Solo comes out.
Solo.
Okay, Solo's gonna come out. Whether he's coming out with a hoodie on or he's coming out dressed in a tire
That's
like he
the shit
just had a
that cracks
match.
me up when he comes out with the hoodie and then takes it. I'm like, oh, we know it's you, Solo. Like, please,
Okay,
I know it's you. Every time it's like a big reveal.
John Cena coming out.
Oh,
Look,
oh
all
my
respect to
god,
the guy. I've gained so much respect for John Cena. I think he's a staple. He's a Mount
it was like my
Rushmore.
childhood all
He's
again.
top 10 all time. But I did
Dope.
not need John Cena to come and help Cody Rhodes. Then The Rock. We knew The Rock was going to come out with those terrible pants that he was wearing. Okay.
You keep talking about his pants.
But I did not need, as much as I love this guy, I did not need The Undertaker to come out and help Cody
My
Rhodes.
only issue was if he was gonna do it, he should have had his full suit on. I don't care. If he was gonna do it, be in full Undertaker gear. Don't give me sweatpants and hoodie like you just came. No, I want full Undertaker gear.
But it's the point. It's the point that Undertaker is gone from wrestling, and just the lights went off. He appears, chokeslam, lights go out. He's not there anymore. And did you notice that The Rock wasn't there either? After
Yeah, he
Yeah, he
disappeared.
took the Rock with him.
He took
Yeah,
him. He
they
took him to the dark
disappeared.
side.
and
Yeah.
He
then it
took him
was,
to the dark side, of course.
and I forgot to mention Seth Rollins comes in somewhere and just gets a complete beating by
Yo,
Roman
hold
Reigns.
on. When the Shield music hit, am I the only one that thought it?
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, no way, yo. So
I
when heard
thought
the Shield
I thought
music,
Rollins and Ambrose were both gonna
me
show,
too.
and I was
Yo,
losing my shit. I was completely
me
losing my
too.
shit.
I was losing my mind. I was like,
Dude.
I was like, no way. Ambrose is back. I'm like, no way.
If Moxie would have came out, I
If
would have.
Moxie would have came out, I would have lost my
Oh,
shit.
that would have
And
been
that would have been a highlight. That would have been a highlight.
I mean, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks did the main event in WrestleMania. They did it. So
Ugh,
there you go.
I hate the Young Bucks.
But we didn't need all this to help Cody. Cody needed to go out looking like a warrior. Cody needed to go out that he beat the bloodline and he beat Roman Reigns.
But
Yes,
to
with a
your,
Jay help. Yes, with a Seth Rollins help.
in
But
his
not.
defense,
We didn't need all
it was
this.
bloodline rules. It was their stipulation. It's not his. If he wanted to beat him 1-on-1, I'm pretty sure he would have picked it. But it's bloodline rules, man.
But
And they
not.
made him look strong. They made him look strong because
Yeah,
he still came back from all those pins.
Doesn't look like a warrior.
right.
Doesn't look like the heavyweight
It
champion to
doesn't
me.
look like a guy. He doesn't look strong that much, but he still looked like he resisted a lot. He
For
took a
all I
lot.
for all
Right.
I care, and I'm gonna get to Derek shaking his head.
He's a
Bec-
baby
for
face. What are you
for
supposed
all
to
I
do? Like he's the
care.
most over baby
No,
face.
Austin
So
did
you
not
have
need
to.
all these people to
And
come
did you
out.
see all the baby faces coming out to lift them up?
Yeah.
That's what is it. That's
That's
what it is.
fine. That's fine.
Listen,
You
they
can do
set
that.
it up like, all right, I agree with you. I think it would have been better if they would have had other superstars from the active roster come out
Yes,
to help them. That would have made it so much more sense and made it more better because all of these guys have issues with the bloodline, Randy Orton,
exactly.
etc. So if they would have came out, I get what you're saying. Undertaker and Cena, I get it. WrestleMania, they did that
Don't
because
need
of
it.
they always wanted the surprise aspect, but I get it. If somebody like Randy Orton and the rest of those guys came out and helped them, it would have seemed more fitting, and it would have made more sense with them standing in the ring holding them up like he's the baby
Yeah.
face because they all had issues with the bloodline anyway. So that would have made more sense. Like, so I kind of agree with you a little bit now that you say it like that, but if it would have went like that, it would have been better. I feel like that because all the baby faces came out anyway. Put him up like he's the champ. Yeah, he's our champion. They should have came out. Can
Yeah.
you imagine Kevin Owens and Randy Orton coming back out? Oh, it would have been perfect.
Makes sense. It's the people
Somebody
that had
getting
issues with the bloodline. The Undertaker
right.
hasn't had an issue with the bloodline. I'm sorry. Sean Cena to a certain extent. Derek, you were shaking your head the whole time.
He agrees with you.
Yeah, I think So I think the way that this should have gone is if you're gonna make a match and you're gonna ramp it up and you can say it's bloodline rules, why wasn't the bloodline ringside the whole time? For me, it doesn't make sense. Like they're interfering. Oh, are we shocked that they're interfering? No, it's bloodline rules.
Right.
So Roman Reigns should have come out and then on the side of the ring the whole time, just causing havoc for Cody Rhodes. No matter what, should have been Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso,
And Jimmy
Paul
Uso.
Heyman was there, and The Rock should have been there,
Right.
just chirping the crowd. He should have just been there talking shit. That's it.
And
That's
you
it.
know
That
what?
would've
That's
been
a great
brilliant,
point.
yeah.
Why The
That's a
Rock
great
wasn't
point.
the side like he should have been there?
Why is their music playing when they're coming out? For Christ's sake, we know what their music is.
Yeah.
But to my point, the bloodline should have been there the whole time. And then if you want to
Lumberjack
introduce,
style.
yes, but then that's the point. If you want to introduce the baby faces, so everyone that's had an issue with the bloodline, the Sami Zayns, the Jey Usos, the McIntyres, the Randy Ortons, the whatever, have those guys show up whenever the bloodline starts causing a little bit too much damage, clean fucking house, and then you leave the ring. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, no more interference for 15, 20 minutes, best man wins. Then Cody Rhodes looks like a superstar, and it looks like his friends were just there to even the odds, not to make him win, but just to level the playing field. That's what should have happened. But that's not what happened. And in my head, I was just there and I was like, and to Steven's point, Cody wins.
agree.
I knew Cody was going to win. And then
Me too.
the first thing that pops into my mind when Cody wins is like, he's going to lose soon.
Oh yeah, you think so?
Oh yeah.
He looks too weak. He looks too weak. He's out there crying. He's out there like shaking and like calling out people and stuff like that. And guess what? It's weird to say, but and we saw with The Rock coming back, The Rock made wrestling cool again. Your company will only sell as much tickets depending how good your top heel is. Your champions, they could be baby faces. It's not a problem, but they're not. He's not a Stone Cold baby face. He's not a The Rock baby face. He's a Cody Rhodes baby face. His character is not an over the top character. You don't know where Cody Rhodes the wrestler is and Cody Rhodes the human is. They seem to be one and the same. Whereas The Rock outside the ring is The Rock outside the ring. Then The Rock in the ring is The Rock in the ring. They're two different people. Cody Rhodes is too personal, too close that I feel he's just not. He's relatable as a champion, but he doesn't make me want to tune in. He doesn't make me want to tune in every week. It just sucks to say. Priest makes me want to tune in more because I want to see where they're going with the Judgment Day. I don't want to hear Cody Rhodes thanking a whole bunch of people and just wrestling Sami Zayn for the next year. It's not what I want to see. I want to see Cody Rhodes lose, and I want to see where they go from there. To me, he's like a bridge champion. He finished the story. Now they're going to tear him down. And I just want to move on from it, sadly. And that's no diss to Triple H, Paul Levesque, whatever. I just don't think it made him look like a champion. It made him look like a guy that just turned out to become the champion, but it didn't make him look like a superstar, megastar. I feel like there's wrestlers who don't have championships right now, who are better on the mic, better in the ring, and who I believe more as champions. That's it.
That's why I listen to this podcast. You get all these different opinions. This is why it's a Fatal Four, guys. You see this, guys?
You come here.
This is why you come here.
That was a very well put together way to do that match. Because now that I'm thinking about it, you were absolutely right. If it's bloodline
I
rules,
hate the match now.
I thought about it too. Because he's right. Because I thought about it. Like you said, if it's bloodline rules, they should have been out there the whole night fucking with him. Yeah, they should have been fucking with him. And then you see somebody walking down, Randy Orton coming down, or somebody. Like you said, all the baby faces, his friends come down, and then, all of this Undertaker and John Cena.
It was really like WWE PG. It was really let's please everyone. That's what it was. That's what I thought. That's what I feel the big difference between the big.
And CM Punk was there at the end. CM Punk never had an issue with the bloodline. Barely even spoke to Cody Rhodes, and he's out there like.
I don't know why they
showing
put
support.
Him out there.
We will address the one thing though, and I think we addressed it before. Rollins coming out, and Rollins actually had really nothing to do there. He just got Superman punched, and then he got absolutely belted with the chair. But he was off to the right, sitting on the ropes the whole time while Cody was doing his thing, and you could tell that he was. You could tell, like there's just that expression on his face. Either he is the best seller in the business, or he's genuinely hurt, and I think he's going away for.
No, I think it was genuine. It was genuine.
I was watching his interaction with Kevin Owens, like on the side. Kevin Owens kept checking on him, like, "Hey, are you okay?" And then like just watching him like just move around, you're like, "Oh boy." So I think, and it sucks. It genuinely sucks because now that leaves a hole that you don't have a former world champion there. And it's unfortunate for Rollins, to be honest. It's very unfortunate. Rollins has had a history of injuries, just came back from an injury. It's very unfortunate. I know Steven's a big fan of Seth Rollins. So am I. And I think to watch him go out like that, if that's the way he goes out for the next few months, I think it's pretty heartbreaking. You lose your title and you get hurt. Maybe he got hurt during the match and they had to change. Maybe Rollins was supposed to win the whole time. Maybe they had to call it on a fly because Rollins got hurt during the match. It's a possibility.
Maybe.
Just want to say to your point, it happens to some of the best, and when they come back, they have a second run.
Yep.
And they become the best.
Shawn Michaels.
Thank you.
After the back injury, after WrestleMania 14, when he lost to Stone Cold, and he had that fit in the press conference afterwards, he came back a couple years later, winning the fucking elimination chamber match, still taking those bumps. I was like, yo, Shawn Michaels is insane. Still taking those bumps, still fighting The Undertaker, still giving us quality matches, fighting the fucking pilled up Kurt Angle. Can you imagine a coked up Shawn Michaels and pilled up Kurt Angle match? That would be a fucking classic. Perk Angle was
2 hours, 2 hours Iron Man match.
Bro, Perk Angle and cocaine and Shawn Michaels would have been insane.
Yeah, definitely.
Before we get up out of here, I have a very important question because we didn't
talk about. He's attacking Trick Williams again.
We didn't.
I like that NXT champion that beat up Nakamura, Ilja Dragunov. He's good. I like him.
Oh yeah.
I hope he doesn't.
I like that guy. Dragunov, the guy. Very good.
Yeah.
So question of the evening, boys. Question of the evening. Roman Reigns.
Yes.
What's next?
The next time we see him is SummerSlam.
Okay, I like that.
When he fights, I'm trying to think who they're gonna make him fight.
I can't tell. I don't follow enough, so
he's probably gonna fight Cody. I feel like they're gonna do something. He's gonna fight Cody to make it round 3.
Okay.
And whatever. I don't know. I think so.
I think we might have. We didn't address it. Well, we did address it, but we didn't address it that much. Whenever Solo Sikoa came out, he acted like an absolute destroyer. He was yelling at Roman Reigns, finish it. Like he was carrying that show. Listen, we've seen a lot of wrestling. We've seen how all these stories go. You build the monster of the group, and eventually the monster of the group takes out the head of the group.
Oh, yes.
It happened. Batista Triple H Evolution. It happened. Yep. And that's the best Solo Sikoa has looked in months. He looked like he was dominating. He was barking orders. He looked on top of his game. The Samoan spike to spear combo was out of this fucking world. I think if anything's going to happen, is not so much Roman Reigns going for that championship again, but it's going to be people questioning whether or not, because he's no longer the champion, if he should be the tribal chief. And that's the storyline for Roman Reigns going forward, is Solo being like, hey, you're not champion anymore. I can be a champion. I'm bigger, I'm better, I'm stronger. I'm the enforcer. I want that crown. That's what I want to see for Roman Reigns going forward.
I like that. And this is why you come here, folks, for these great wrestling takes. Again,
I really think Roman Reigns shouldn't have lost. I think he should have went at least till SummerSlam.
they weren't letting him break Hogan's record, and you know that Hulk Hogan was not going to allow that, brother. That's not going to work for me, brother.
It makes no sense to me that Roman lost. Roman is not the face of the company, but he is what comes to people's minds right now when you, or for the last couple of years, when you think of WWE. Roman Reigns. The first thing that pops into your head is Roman Reigns. No offense, it's not Cody Rhodes. It's not Seth freaking Rollins. It's not Drew McIntyre. It's not CM Punk. It's Roman Reigns. Now, there's kind of like a gap, okay? He lost. You saw the video of him hugging, I don't think you saw it there, him hugging Paul Heyman next to the stage.
Yeah.
And there's just that, like, okay, he's held this title for so long, okay? How are we going to fill that void of him being the face of the company? Yes, we have Cody Rhodes to be the number one. Yes, we have Cody Rhodes to be the face. But, like, is he really going to be able to go to that high standard of what Roman Reigns did as being one of the biggest heels of all time, as being the champion for almost 4 years?
Yeah.
Like, can he do it? Because Roman Reigns did it. Yes, he had tools to do it, but Roman Reigns did it as a heel. I just find that there's going to be missing something. And if you take Seth Rollins out of the picture, okay, you're going to have just basically Cody Rhodes. You're going to have...
Well, that's why they're having a draft soon. So
our wonderful U.S. champion, Logan Paul.
Like, seriously, like, think of it. Like, think of it.
Wait, we completely skipped
Roman...
over the street fight match, bro. Montez Ford almost flipping into the crowd. Yo, Montez Ford is amazing, bro. Like, I don't know if he needs to get away from that fraction with him and Bobby
He's
Lashley.
He's not a solo guy. He can't be a solo.
But no, he's amazing in the ring, though, bro. That move, almost jumping into the crowd, I was like, yo, how do you front flip like that? That was crazy.
But I don't know. I'm just now.
Maybe Reigns is returning to TV. No?
What do you mean?
Reigns is gonna go back to TV now. No? Do you think so?
Like more on the Raw or SmackDown?
Yeah.
Go SmackDown.
I think if anything, Reigns goes away for a while. If anything, he goes away for a while and he follows in his cousin's footsteps and starts doing a little bit more of the Hollywood thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's a possibility. Every former guy who has gone away to do TV, movies, whatever the case may be, they were all champions. They all lost their championship, and then they went on to do TV stuff.
Yeah.
All of them. The Rock, Cena, Batista, every single one of them.
Yeah.
It might just be that. It might just be that. Listen, at that point, and to be perfectly honest, as good of a champion as Reigns was, he has nothing left to prove anymore.
No.
As a champion, as a superstar, he's got nothing left to prove. He's got no other card to put up other than if he wants to challenge for that 16-time world championship or whatever the case may be. That's the only thing. But after you're such a dominant champion, you know what? Take a break. Take a break, go do stuff outside that you want to do. And then when you come back, people are going to be like, holy shit. 1,300 days is back. We're in fucking trouble now. But he needs to go away.
Go away, come back. SummerSlam. Trap, you said SummerSlam.
Yeah, okay. SummerSlam. I see him coming back at SummerSlam.
SummerSlam and just shock people. Do something and shock people. Go after maybe the world heavyweight champion. Go to Raw. Don't let the undisputed WWE champion alone. Go get another belt. Put something else under your belt. No pun, whatever you want to call it. But you know what I mean? Like, do something. Make it a shock. Be like when The Undertaker came back and he was the American Badass. Not to that extent, but you know what I mean. Shock people.
Yeah.
Shock value is what is needed. And Roman Reigns is probably the only other person that could do it. He could bring that shock value, but you got to give him about a couple of months off. No?
Yeah.
Boys, this was fun. Was this
It
the greatest
was.
WrestleMania of all time? Trap?
Night 2. It wasn't. I got to look back at the other WrestleManias that I watched. It might have been.
Oof.
I don't know.
Derek?
I can't. I mean, I have to. I've been watching them. I don't know. My favorite was always 14 with the main event with Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin. I remember I had that on tape. I used to watch that 1,000 times. That WrestleMania was great. But I don't know. Maybe WrestleMania. Maybe it was. I don't know.
It was not.
I
It was
think
not. Listen, I think the biggest problem with wrestling is that now, bar none, the athletes in the ring now are leaps and bounds above any athletes that came in the past. They got better training, they got better coaches, they're being trained by the former wrestlers. What's missing is just it's the personalities. The personalities is what sells tickets. That's the big difference between an old WrestleMania and a new WrestleMania. Yes, there were some good quality matches, but there was also some scrap fucking matches in old WrestleManias.
Oh yeah, like that. Jay
The
Cargill.
quality.
We'll get into that next.
The quality is good, but I need to see more stories. I need them to put as much attention into the US Championship, into the street fight, into the world heavyweight. I need them to evenly distribute the promo, and then everything will look good. The reason why we're so hard on those main events is because it was the most hyped thing for the whole weekend. And it was too hyped that it under-delivered. And all the other matches that were underneath were under-promoted and over-delivered.
Over-delivered.
Whereas in the past, everything got the same level of promotion. There was layers, there was depth to it. Once they give me that depth, then I could say it's probably one of the best WrestleManias. But to give credit where credit is due, it's probably one of the best pay-per-views, if not the best pay-per-view that WWE has done this year. Was it a gold standard? No, but it was a solid pay-per-view by WWE standards, not by AEW wrestling. By WWE standards, it was a good pay-per-view.
Malenko?
I agree.
No, not at all. No, I'm not a fan of two nights WrestleMania for me.
Yeah,
and it was and its sponsorship, the sponsorship, the Prime everywhere and all that. What
Snap
the
it
hell,
to Slim Jim.
dude? It's too much. It's too
The
much.
sponsorship was annoying as
It's
hell.
too much.
was.
That Ring Prime, I was mad when I saw that. I don't want to see that, dog. But other than that, no, I don't think it is. Again, I didn't watch it as in full, but it's 2 nights. It's too much. Give me one night, condense that. Give me good matches, good storylines, and I think with these 2 nights, they could take out half the fights in here and maybe have one solid night. Those main events were, to me, classic WWE. It was really more like a spectacle than the actual match.
So, as always.
Yeah, as always, I think it was. Well, we got some great matches as a main event. It was supposed to be, but I think it was just too much of a spectacle. It was entertaining, but not the best one.
Boys, one thing I want to tell you guys before we get up out of here, I appreciate you all. I want to give a big pause. Shout out to Malenko for editing all these videos.
Thank you. You do every show now. This I'm gonna cut it off. No,
okay.
no, I'm joking.
Trap,
no, it's good. Thank
you for cutting those videos when I ask you to cut videos because I have no idea what I'm doing. Derek, thank you for your inputs. Okay.
Of course.
No outros.
I love Derek for his inputs, man. Derek, you make great inputs, man. This is why people come here and listen to this. Like, are you like on wrestling? Like, what do you like? Do you study wrestling?
No, I just.
Do you read on wrestling?
I sadly, and Steven will be able to tell you this because we work together, and my girlfriend, much to her demise, is that I analyze and I have an opinion on everything, but my opinions are always based on like me really thinking about it. Okay. So whenever I attack these podcasts, I've thought about it for a while, and I never say anything spur of the moment, which it's a problem sometimes.
No, good,
but it is what it is.
No, it's good. No, it's good for your wrestling taste because it
Thanks.
makes me think about it too. Like, 'cause I'm like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Like, I would never think about it. So I always appreciate your perspectives on it. It's really good.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I should send some of them to Dave Meltzer. Let him hear it and his fucking horrible takes. Ugh.
Boys, no outros needed tonight. We're the Fatal Four Way. We're the Four Horsemen. I appreciate you all. And the last thing I'm gonna say, the last thing I'm gonna say is, guess what? MJF did not appear. Thank you very much.
You sneaky guy.
No MJF.
Sneaky guy. You sneaky guy.
Y'all time is out of here. Trap, you were wrong. Peace.
I was
Peace.
wrong.